every once in a while we stumble across some statistics, and this recent one that I came across, and it was kind of a survey that compiled a bunch of statistics, came from the Fed, and really it was very interesting because it outlined 6 unpleasant statistics for retirees. And so I kind of want to go over those with you today to inform you on them, and then also kind of try to help you avoid being one of those statistics. So first, number 1, and this is more just background information for you, but it was covering the average Social Security benefit. So the average Social Security benefit for 2023 amounted to about $22,000 per year. So I want you to think about that. If you're approaching retirement, or maybe you've got a few years out before retirement, a lot of people think that Social Security should be a huge part of your retirement plan. Well, think about it. Can you make $22,000 a year work for your situation? For a lot of people, that's just not enough, right? So you can't solely live on Social Security alone. So you got to have something else, right? Well, number 2, more than 1 in 4 working adults are not contributing to retirement accounts. Isn't that just crazy? So the actual stat was 28% of those working adults aren't saving for retirement, don't have that retirement account. But what really blew my mind, and this is number 3, is that nearly 50% of millennials, and get this, 92% of GenZers don't have a retirement account whatsoever. Okay, isn't that just wild? Now, the Fed did do kind of an explanation there on reasons why these generations aren't really saving for retirement. And the big one, the first one, is those rising costs. Okay, obviously with inflation being so high, everything is costing more. And for the younger folks, having the extra dollar to put away in the retirement accounts is very hard to come by, right? Another one is these younger couples, well, they're having children, right? So the added cost to bring a child into the world doesn't allow for a lot in savings. But I would encourage you, even if it's $50 a month, something that you think is way too small to even make a difference, well, just get started, because I think that's oftentimes the first hurdle, is just getting started, just getting invested. And so I encourage you, stash away whatever you can, because the earlier you start, the magic of compounding interest is just unbelievable. If you can continue to do that year over year over year for 20, 30, 40 years until you retire, you'd be really surprised at what you actually have when you retire. Number 4, 38% of Americans are not in the stock market, which I thought that was very interesting as well. I mean, yes, it can be very volatile, but when you go back and look at history, for an example, the S&P 500, you go back 95 years, if you average the annualized rate of return, it amounts to 11.5%. So yeah, one of the main concerns is the volatility, but typically that's just short term in the market. So you should be investing in the market, but for the long term. And hopefully, in the long run, you'll end up ahead. Number 5, nearly 70% of Americans aren't on track with retirement. Isn't that just crazy, that number? 70%. Now, what they did find was that as you increase in age, those stats kind of change a little bit. So those over 60 do feel a lot better about their retirement compared to the younger generations. So kind of self-explanatory there. And then number 6, many retirees without private income report struggling financially. So this is, hey, we've got so many people, about 53%, that are living just on Social Security alone. Now, they might be working, they have a job or so forth, but if you don't have that extra income, whether it be from a retirement account, a part-time job, or a pension, living on Social Security alone can be very, very difficult. So I encourage you, plan for retirement, right? Get things in place, start investing, and work on different income sources so that you can plan to retire well.